It's Dragon Ball time! Hello, welcome to another figure review. Today we're gonna have a look at the S.H.Figuarts Dragon Ball Tao Pai Pai. The original, one of the biggest villains in Dragon Ball and a huge challenge to Son Goku. Man, this guy is he's a treat. He's kind of funny, but he's also super serious and powerful. Well, by Dragon Ball standards. So, let's have a look at the figure. Hired by the Red Ribbon Army to murder Son Goku. That's a pretty common theme of the show. He stands at about 14.5 centimeters to the top of his head. That means we're going up to 5.6 inches tall. Overall look in detail of the figure. I love the face sculpt. There's tons of detail in it, like especially on the sides, his cheekbones or whatever. The one thing I'm not the biggest fan of, but that can be debated, is the white of the eyes has the big black lines around it, and I feel like you shouldn't make big black lines around it. It maybe kind of fits with Dragon Ball, I don't know, but they've just been playing around with that. What I do like, however, I like the orange lines in the face, under the eyes, and between his eyes. That is very nicely done, and it doesn't stick out too much, but still gives you that much more amount of detail. Then you got the mustache. Hair skull is nicely molded. You got the ponytail in the back with the little ribbon on it, and the kill you on the back, same thing. Seems like a little bit shiny compared to the rest of his pink outfit. And then the line work overall, this is one of the figures where I'm saying they didn't have to do a lot of paint, but the paint they've done looks pretty good. The line work overall that goes around the collar and overall on his gi with the black lines over here, the red, it is all very clean. There's like really, I don't have any complaints. There's no bleeding on it. It doesn't go all over the place. And you got the white on his arms, which is also painted. And impressively enough, it looks good, because usually you have the dark blue, try to paint it over with white, doesn't really work so well. Often you have the blue kind of bleeding through it and the white not covering it up well enough. On this situation, they did it. I don't know how, but they did it. As we move down for the rest of the gi, you have some more wrinkles in it. And I'm just saying, this is all like pink plastic and dark blue plastic, but still, the lines of red had to be painted, and they were done magnificently. Well, there's a little bit, there's a spot. Ah, okay, enough about that. And it's pantsuit time, just kidding. I'm going a little bit crazy over here. But then you got the legs with them white pants and them shoes. Same thing, you got the black and they painted the white over it. And it does cover it up. As you can tell, it does look a little bit grayish, as it should be white, but I'm saying it's a minor thing and I'm not complaining about it. Now for the articulation, I gotta admit I am impressed. Starting off with the head, everything is pretty nice and stiff, not too much, and I have the problem though that I have this disconnecting. And as you can tell, look at this. It takes some force to move this ball joint back and forth on the big hinge, but let's see that again. Goes forward, goes to the back, does tilt side to side, does go all the way around, and it really takes a good tug, but you get some nice articulation out of it. You got the ponytail on a ball hinge, so you can bring that up and down, rotation, fully in there, and the front piece doesn't move actually. I thought for a second. Then I think for the neck articulation, let me take this off real quick. For the neck articulation, which same thing, it doesn't make a nice noise, but it does move around forward and to the back, and I don't think it moves to the side. I think it's just on a hinge. Unless it's stuck, but I'm really just giving it back and forth. Then, for the shoulder articulation, you have this nice butterfly joint. You can bring that forward. It looks pretty nice, seamless. Then you have also a ball joint in the chest area, and it's kind of hard to move that one around, but you can if you give it a little bit of play around, but you can move the ball inside there. Then you have, of course, a hinge in the shoulder itself, bicep swivel, double hinged elbow, ball hinge at the fist, back, forth, rotation, chest area. You can pull it out and do some very good poses with it. Has some gaps, but then you just tuck it back in and you eliminate that problem. Also does tilt side to side and does almost go all the way around, and I don't like the noises this guy's making. Like I'm saying, it's all super stiff. Probably should have heated it up before doing this, but well, I did not, and now I'm here, so I'm not making a cut. Anyway, legs move out to the side, they move forward. This is all soft plastic for the gi, so that will move out of the way, moves forward nicely, and does move to the back. Let me straighten it out. Does move to the back, front, and also has some rotation on it. Double hinged knees and big props for molding this entire thing over here. Of course, the knee pad does stand out, but still, they made the best job they could, and it's actually amazing that they still did the molding under there. That's pretty cool. And the foot does go side to side. I think it's like a double ball combination. Back, forward. You can rotate it over here, and Jesus, cool. Side to side. This is why is everything so stiff and toe hinged. Boom, there you go. For the accessories, I'm not playing around, I'm getting to the good stuff first. You have the pink pylon, which he uses to fly around the air, which comes in 3 pieces. First, you have the pylon, as I completely run into my tripod. You have the lower part of the base and the big part of the base, and then you have a little part, which, if you don't want it to be angled, you just take this part out. I don't like to play around with these things in front of the camera because I have to look for the camera and I can't see very well, and I'm afraid I'm going to break something off. But anyway, put that on there and then it's not angled anymore. So you have some more posing options, and for the pylon itself there is some detail on it, and obviously there are a lot of holes. But you even thought about that. To cover up them holes, you got a whole bunch of different pink pieces all angled differently. You just stick that in there and you cover up all the holes you don't want to use. And obviously, how would you get the figure on here and stay on there? Well, you have some feet pieces with pegs on it. Actual, just the soles of the shoes, which you take off the regular figure, put those on. Obviously, same thing. Some of them are straight and some of them are angled for more posability. And then there's of course the regular stuff, the faces, the yelling face, and the tongue face actually. He has one where the tongue's sticking out, which was part of the fight, I don't remember correctly. It's not just to insult his opponent, I think, I don't know. Has a big sharp tongue, hello ladies. And the finger poke of doom. Then you got 2 posing hands where it just kind of has the fingers folded up, and 2 open hands. Got a 7-star Dragon Ball, which is really hard to see with the lighting, but there's some stars on there. Got your Dragon Ball, and for more action poses, you have different parts of his gi where it's kind of flowing in the wind and whatnot. So you can play around with that and have some more options. And for those of you wondering, how will you ever get the pegs out of there? Simple. You can split this thing apart and just push everything out. Real easy. Also, like, these tiny parts are molded to fit in specific holes, which I find a bit excessive, but alright, great attention to detail, by the way. Yeah, there's some more detail. I didn't really show you the pylon, but here you can tell it's broken off on the sides. It looks pretty good, and let me get this back together. So you got your finished piece, your Tao Pai Pai, flying around through the air, flipping you off. Well, it's not really flipping off finger, but anyway, lots of fun with this one, lots of posability and cool stuff. That's gonna do it. Well, final thoughts before I actually wrap this up. Final thoughts is pretty simple. I love this one. He's a bit more expensive, but considering all the things he comes with, the articulation and accessories are pretty top notch. Same goes for the paint shop, so I don't really have anything bad to say about this. If you're a fan of the character, you have to get this one, and even if don't, I would still consider it because he's pretty darn good. And that's gonna do it, guys. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, card game stuff, and whatever Tao Pai Pai wants. Nothing really. I mean, look at it. It's perfect. Perfect. Ah!